All right, on this instructional video, we're going to look at the class report. So we go to your growth reports, we go to class report, and on here we want our term rostered and our term tested to be the same. Now you will not have this choice of campuses like I do. You will only have your campus. All right, once you pick your class period that you want to look at, you'll come to this where you're going to choose which subjects you want to see the report on. We do not test on all of these subjects. Matter of fact, we don't even offer a geometry test. So I'm going to get this down to just the test that my students take. So I'm going to clear it. I'm going to pick my math K through 12, my reading, and if you teach bilingual, you'll pick your reading Spanish as well. When we come down here, I want my sort order to be by student name, because for me, it's easier to see the kids in alpha order than it is in RIT order. That's a choice up to you. And here under instructional area descriptors, I want that chosen instead of the RIT ranges. I'm going to say create PDF. Once you say create PDF, it will go to reports queue. Occasionally it'll just pop up the PDF for you, but most of the time it's going to go to your report queue. So you download. All right, let's look at what these reports tell us. The first thing that we want to look at is the total number of students that tested, our mean and our median RIT. Remember, mean is the average, median is the exact middle. Now, when I created this report, I had not compiled the data for the district yet, and that's why there are asterisks here. But once you run your report after this evening, then you will see the district and you'll have that to compare also. Right here, what this is telling us is our students by percentiles. Remember, a first percentile is the lowest, 100th percentile is the highest. The median is that average percentile, and then they have that marked from 41 to 60. Okay, so our low, we have 6 students in the low percentile. That means that they scored in less than the 21st percentile. Low average, we have 1. Average, which is the 41st to 60th percentile, we have 7 students. We have 4 of them that are sitting on the higher than average part, 4, and then we have 1 that is greater than the 80th percentile. All right, the next thing that we're going to look at is we are looking at the students by instructional area. So this breaks it down by numerical representations and relationships, computations and algebraic relationships, geometry and measurement, data analysis, and money transactions. Now this shows that we have students low in geometry and measurement. One of the most common reactions is, well, we have not taught geometry and measurement, so of course they won't know our grade level standards. But remember that this is about RIT. RIT is ready for instruction. Ready for instruction means that this is where their foundation is so that they are ready to receive and understand what you're teaching on grade level. So that's a difference between what I have mastered or what I should have mastered and where I'm at and what I'm ready to learn. Again, this breaks it down by number of students in each percentile by the concepts. Okay, now I like this page because this page gives us some information about the students. It gives us their RIT score and their percentile, and it gives us, you'll notice that this is bold and then there's numbers on each side. Well, it's because there's always a standard of error, and so that kind of gives you the range, and that range tells you that if the student were to take the same test again, they may score a little bit or lower or a little bit higher, but this is the area in which they would score. Okay, over here, the test duration, that's something very important to look at. When we look at this, we see that we have students with a variety of times, and it really should not be taking the students that long to take the test. If you see students that are extremely longer than the average for your test, for your class, like the student with 174 minutes. 174 minutes is an extremely long time to take a test. Usually that means that the student is a higher achieving student, and that higher achieving student does not want to get any problems wrong. And so they keep trying and trying and trying and struggling and struggling and struggling. Remember, you have to have that talk with the students before the test, that they are going to top out, that they are going to have questions that they do not know, and that it's okay for them to make their best guess and move on, that they do not need to sit on a question for 10 or 15 minutes trying to figure out some way to get an answer. Okay, that's the math. And then you can see your students' reading scores and compare them to, are they doing better in math? Are they doing better in reading? Are they moving up? Are they moving forward? Are they above the district? Okay. And again, reading gives them the concepts, author's purpose and craft, multiple genres, foundational language and foundational language skills and vocabulary. When we look at this, we can see that our students are struggling in reading. We have got 12 students below average in author's purpose. We have got 11 below in multiple genres, and we've got 8 below in vocabulary. So we know that we're going to have to build some foundational skills for this class. You're going to go in, and again, you're going to look at their test. When I look at this, I see that there's a student here that took 303 minutes on the test. That is a student who just procrastinated, who wore you down and just sat at the computer and didn't move on. And so we need to make sure that we are monitoring our students. We need to make sure that when they're taking the test, that we are observant of what question they're on and making sure that they are moving forward. Now, we know this is not STAR. We have a different measure of monitoring on MAP than we do on STAR. But a student that sat there for 303 minutes, that's 60, 120, 180, you get the idea of how many hours that is, right? And so that student lost way too much instruction time. So we need to talk to that student about their testing attitude. But again, this gives us their RIT score, their percentile score, and for reading, it gives you their Lexile range. And that is some of the information that you get out of your class report. And over here, you can see how you're going to group your students. You're going to see their overall performance. So this gives you a good global view.